I believe the session is being live streamed now. It should start in a minute. Can somebody go check the YouTube? Ash, can you give me a signal if it has started? Or anybody else? Prateek? Great. Can we get the recording started as well? Thank you. Amazing. So, thank you, Prem. Today, again, we have Ellen. We will continue with the work that he started yesterday. I have to say, I'm very, very pleased with one gentleman from yesterday who sent me a mail. Ellen, can you show that mail to everybody?
You mean
Yeah, the one I posted. I was very proud of
this?
very proud of this. Yes, yes, yes. So yesterday there's a brand new guy. His name is Harshvardhan. He's doing his MS in US, and he's a beginner to Power BI and all these graphs and stuff like that. But he shared with me that he found the session very educational, and he practiced it whatever Ellen taught yesterday, and he found it very, very, very. He was very enthusiastic about all the stuff that Ellen taught yesterday. So, guys, this is what we mean by practice. Because if you just listen to the videos or you listen to Ellen talking and you don't practice it, it's a waste of time for everyone. But if you practice it, that brings out the best in you. So I wanted to especially acknowledge Harshvardhan for doing a great job yesterday. He especially sent me a mail. He was very excited when his graph looked like this. So having said that, let's begin the session. Over to Ellen.
All right, so thank you, Arun and Prem, and also Aishwarya for sending the promos and so on. Okay, so let's get started. I got shared in the WhatsApp group, but if you haven't received, no worries. I can actually share to you again later. So we are going to do a data on a finance data. Basically, we are dealing with respective fund managers. Normally, when you talk about JP Morgan, Bank of America, or any banks in the world, okay, India banks, Malaysia banks, we also have a dedicated bank, a department that deals with fund, department that deals investment money. Because when you talk about the bank don't only deals with the opening a bank account or fixed deposit. Banks also play a role in investing the money. That means if just say I want to invest in a stock market, but I don't know, so I give the bank will invest on my behalf. So here we have the fund managers, their emails, and they are part of the team. Okay, so this is the fund managers database. Then we have a client database. So these are the respective clients that will be investing. That means they will give the fund to the company, to the fund manager, and the fund manager will invest on their behalf. So we have all the clients. Some companies we have two PICs. Some clients we only have one PIC. PIC means person in charge. Because normally how it works is just say I want to invest my money. I want JP Morgan to invest my money. So I will be the person in charge and I will liaise with JP Morgan. So JP Morgan will meet me maybe every month or every quarter to discuss the updates, how's the investment, how's the portfolio. And then after that, we also have the financial performance of the invested companies. Like for example, this is the companies, the industries, the revenue, every company in this world, like how we humans we have salary. So let it also the companies also they will have revenue. And then we also have operating profit. That means after deducting your operating expenses. And finally, we have the net profit, profit after tax. Okay, so not only China companies, we also have Indian companies as well. And then we do have the share price, because when we invest the company, we buy at the low price, we sell at the high price. Because the purpose of a stock market is to see the charts. When we look at the pattern, we see whether at a low price we buy. And then when we buy, the intention is the stock market or the particular listed company should perform well. When there is an expansion or growth in the company, then the share price will increase. But should there be any controversy, then the share price will decrease and so on. And this is the transaction. That means we have on 2nd January, we invested in this company. And then this is our client. This is the fund manager. what we do is we buy. So here the transaction is buy. We buy about 6,900 shares, and then this is the share price per unit. So share price per unit is 97. So we multiply, so we get about total. So from here, what I want to calculate is what is the available shares, because we buy shares, yes, but we need to calculate what is the shares that we sold, how much is available, and what is the invested shares. That means how much is being invested and so on. Okay, so now this is the data. So what I'm going to do is, I'll show you, I'm going to prepare a 2-page report. Okay, nothing so fancy. It's just a 2 simple page report. 1-page report to show the invested company, the invested company share price, and also the financial performance. That means their revenue and so on. Okay, their financial performance. So in 1 page, I want to show the share price and also the financial performance. In other page, the second page, what I want to show is, I want to see the fund managers performance and which team is performing well, which employee is performing badly. Okay, which team and which employee is performing badly or well, because we want to see, because we are using the client money to invest to the company, so we want to see whether we are making profit or getting returns and so on. Okay, and then I also give you homework. If you are willing to do, you prepare a date page, and up to you, you want to actually show maybe the financial performance of the company, or you want to show the share price, is up to you. I will show 2 pages as a homework. You can actually produce the third page as well. So now let's get started. So first thing is, I need to actually bring this data to Power BI. I need to bring to Power BI. So I open my Power BI. I click import data from Excel. Click over here. Of course, a box will appear. You need to know where you save. Either sometimes in the real working world, we will save in our OneDrive. In the real working world, we can even save in the downloads, documents, or shared drive. But in this case study, I save in my desktop, and the file is 17 August. I open this file, open this particular Excel file, I press open. Once I press open, you will notice that a box will appear. Okay, so my dear friends, can you see this box? If you can see this box, I need your help. Can you type number 1 in the chat box? Just type number 1 if you can see this navigator box over here. All right, so thank you guys for typing number 1. Okay, so if you are new to Power BI, let me explain to you, because sometimes our data is not structured. The better word will be is a messy data. It's not clean. So why the data is not clean? For example, if just say I click on financial performance, when I click over here, you will notice here we have column 1, column 2, column 3. If just say I were to click on just say client, when I click on client, you see here the first row we have none. So normally, before we load the data to Power BI, we need to make sure the data is clean. So then only we can actually produce some visuals and so on. So what I need to do is, I want to select all this. You don't have to click one by one. You see here, I'm actually clicking one by one. So you don't have to click one by one. I'll show you the strategy to actually just say you want to click every tab. Just say you have 10 tabs. So how to click all? What you do is, first thing is you click on this worksheet. Then you need to use your 2 hands. One hand, press the shift button. In your laptop, there's a keyboard, there's a button called shift button. So your left hand, press the shift button. Your right hand, you click on this box over here. So once you click the box, you'll notice it will select all the particular worksheet. And then you have load, transform, cancel. Cancel is easy because if just say you selected the wrong file, you can click on cancel. Load means it will automatically load the database to Power BI. What I want to do is, I want to click on transform data, because I need to clean the data, because the data is not so clean. So I need to clean it. I'm going to press transform data. So once I press transform data, you will notice that we will be navigated to Power Query Editor. Okay, so this one is a very, very important topic. Power Query is not only available in Power BI, it is also available in Excel. Even Excel also got Power Query. And this topic is not for me for 1 hour or 2 hour I can teach you. Basically, this one can be considered as a 2-semester subject. Like how you enroll engineering, MBA, this subject Power Query itself, you can learn about 2 semesters because it's very, very deep. Okay, but I'll show you a simple one. Let me start with client. So now if you look here carefully, let me ask all of you a question. Do you think the first row is needed? This first row over here, You can type yes or you can type no. Do you think the first row is necessary, the null and so on? Just to let you know, what is null? Null means it's a blank cell. Normally in Excel, if it's a blank, the Power Query will show null. So to let you know, this first row is not necessary because our database is client. We have customer ID, we have person in charge, we have the states. So basically the first row is not needed. So what you do is you go to remove row. Over here we have remove row. So my dear friends, can you type number 2 if you can see this remove row over here? Here we have remove row. So what I do is I click on remove row. Once I click on remove row, I remove the top row. Why top row? Because the first row I don't want. I don't want the first row. So I click the remove top row. So how many rows I want to remove? I want to remove the first row. So how many rows? One row. And then I press OK. So automatically the first row has been removed. But my column name is column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. I don't want this to be the column. I want the first row to be the column. So over here we have use first row as header. You can click over here so that it will promote the first row as header. Over here so got which is under home, or you can go to transform. Under transform also we have this icon, use first row as header. So if you can see this, maybe can you type number 3 in the chat box, use first row as header. That means what happens is when I click over here, you will notice that the first row will be promoted as the header. We have customer ID, customer and so on. So if just say you are very new to this Power Query, just let you know, because when I press load, instead of just showing the data, it will show like column 1, column 2. Because our intention is we want to produce visual to our manager. So if just say you load this, it will show column 1, column 2. So I also want to know where is the company name or where is the customer name. But over here, we have a proper header name. So that will be easy for us to create a visual later. So this one is first thing client. Now let's go to the second easy one is fund manager. So fund manager, we notice we have fund manager, we have ID, email and team. But the problem is like I show you, this one, the column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4 is the header name. So what we need to do is we can actually click over here so can, up to you. Or you want to go to home, you click over here so can, up to you. It's the same thing. Use first row as header. When I put promote row as the header, so now we see the header name fund manager ID, fund manager email and team. Okay. So now the next thing is I want to go to the share price. So if you go to the share price, you will notice all these are the companies because like for example, you have this stock exchange. So we have all the listed companies, all the respective dates, but still column 1, column 2, column 3. So what I need to do is I need to use first row as header. So automatically it will be promoted as a header. But what I want to do now is I want to unpivot column because you see here, all the share price is on many different dates. So I don't want to click one by one manually. Okay, I don't want to click one by one manually. Let me just show you. I'll just show you why I need to unpivot. I'll go to close and apply. So when I press close and apply, eventually it will be loaded to the Power BI. But now there is a problem because sometimes I'll show you why we never clean the Power Query. We will show there will be some unusual or non-convenient data because you just let you know. For example, if just say I go to financial performance, you see this is the problem. That is why we need to clean the data. That is why just now I clean the data. So when I just say I go to fund manager, you see it's very clean. You have fund manager, you have the ID and so on. If just say I go to client, you notice it's clean. But when you look at financial performance, you notice it's not clean. I also don't know where is the revenue column, where is the net profit, I also don't know. And if just say if you look here, if just say I want to click on the share price, you see here got so many dates. I just want to click just say a share price. Maybe I want to show something like this. So you see, it's not so beautiful. So that is why we need to clean the data. Okay, that is why we need to clean the data. So what I'm going to do is I will go back to my Power Query. How to go back? Over here, we have transform data. So we click transform data. We will go back to Power Query. So we need to clean first. Normally, before you create any visual, you need to make sure your data is structured. So when I go to share price, yes, we do have all the share price in the respective dates, but I want to create in a proper visual. So what I'll do is I'll just press right click. When I press right click, there is a word called unpivot other column. If you can see this word unpivot other column, can you type number 4 in the chat box? So you can type number 4 if you can see the word here, unpivot other column. What is the intention actually? Unpivot other column means the other columns will change into two respective rows, two respective columns. So when I click over here, unpivot other column, you will notice that now it will have two columns, attribute and value. So to just make you understand, maybe you want to understand what is unpivot columns. Okay, unpivot columns is whereby they will convert the columns into rows. That means there will be two. They will convert all the columns into row. So let me show you one more time. Let me remove this, because in Power Query you cannot undo. You cannot press Ctrl Z. So to undo, you press here. Okay, when I press here, so now you see here we have column 2nd January, 3rd January, 4th January. I want to convert all the columns into two respective columns so that all the share price appear in one column. So what you can do is you can actually select one by one. You can go to transform and click unpivot column. But if you notice carefully, I have so many columns. If you look here, I have so many columns. So don't tell me you have to click all the column one by one. If you click manually one by one, it will take time. So what I do is, I click here, click on this column, right click, unpivot other columns. So the other columns will be unpivoted. What is unpivot? It will convert all the columns into the rows, and it will show you two columns only. That means when I click unpivot other column, we have two additional columns, attribute and value. That means here we have all the share price, here we have the dates. So you can actually put here the dates. Okay, but our date is actually in ABC. What is ABC? ABC means text. Okay, instead of text, you can choose into date format. So you choose into date format. So now it's properly sorted. So when I click a visual, I can actually show the share price. Okay, so now we have the share price. Next thing is, okay, so since I'm done with client, I'm done with fund manager, I'm done with share price. Okay, now the next thing is I want to show financial performance. Okay, financial performance is, the thing is, here we have company name, here we have the code, the company name, the industry, the countries. But if you see here, here we have revenue. Because what happened is, it's a merge cell. Let me go to my Excel file. When I go to my Excel file, as you can see over here, this is a merge cell. When you bring a merge cell, merge means over here. Can you see this merge and center? If you can see, can you type number 5 in the chat box? In Excel, merge means they will try, if they say instead of one cell, we merge them into 5 different cells. So when you bring a merge cell to Power Query, it will have some unclean data. So what we need to do is we need to clean the data. So my intention is I need to clean the data so that I want, okay, here one column for company code, one column for company name, one column for industry sector, one column for countries, one column for the accounting items like revenue, operating profit, and then net profit, okay? And then I want one column dedicated for the financial year. I want one column dedicated for the values. So basically, I want to clean this data. Instead, appear in separate columns. I want 3 columns. One for revenue, one for the years, one for the values. So we need to do unpivot. So what I'll do is, I'll just remove this. Okay, we have change type and promoted headers. Because what happened is, the revenue is the promoted header. So what I'll do is, I press here X, I press here X. So automatically, the revenue is over here. Okay, the revenue is over here. So what I'm going to do right now is I want to clean the data. So the first thing is I need to actually go to transform and transpose. So when I transpose, it will change into this format. It will change the layout. Okay, if you notice over here, we have revenue null, revenue null, operating profit null, 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 or net profit null. What is null? In Power Query, null means it's a blank cell. In Power Query, null means a blank cell. So I don't want the null to appear. So what I'll do is I'll select the column 1, right click, go to fill and click down. The word here is down. So I click here down, automatically it will fill down. So right now you can know, okay, revenue 2024 is over here. Operating profit is over here. So we can actually understand the columns and so on. Okay. And then after that, what I'm going to do next is, okay, so I'll just going to combine this column. column 1 and column 2. I'm going to combine this. So in order to combine, what I'll do is I'll go to merge column. You may ask me why I want to combine. This is just temporary. As a dummy column, I want to combine first. So I'll click merge column and I want to combine using a separator. Up to you. You want to use equal sign or semicolon. I'll use equal sign. I press OK. So automatically it will combine. And then what I'll do is I'll just go to transpose again. So now the data will be transposed. So here we have one column for company code. Here we have one column for company name. Here we do have the industry sector. And then over here we have all these data. Okay, countries and so on. Okay, countries, revenue, and until the end. So what I want to do is I want to actually put the first row. As you can see here, the first row I want to promote as the header. So how to put the first row as header? Over here we have the word use first row as header. You can click it over here. It will be promoted as the header. So yes, we do have company code, company name, industry sector, countries. But what I want to do is I want to unpivot. So I select all these 4 columns, the first 4, right click, unpivot other columns. So when I do this, you will notice over here where we have company code, company name, industry, countries. Here we have attribute, here we have value. But here what I want to do is I want to separate. I want to split the column because here we have revenue, we have the financial year. How to split the column? We can click over here or we can press right click. When you press right click, over here also we have split column. You can split the column, split by delimiter. I want to split the equals line. So I press here OK. So automatically it will be splitted. So here we have the revenue, here we have the attribute and so on. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I want to rename this. So this one is company code. This one is company name. This one is industry sector. This one is countries. This one is accounting items. In the real working world, will have a lot. That means like expenses, OPEX, current asset, and so on. Here, I want to write here as accounting items because here we have revenue, the profit, and the net profit. Then here, this one is the financial year. Financial year, you want to put FY also can, you want to put financial year also can. And this one is what they call as the details. So I just want to change this to a whole number format or even fixed decimal also can, up to you. Okay, so now we have this data. So all our data is clean, but I want to add something for transaction. If you see here, transaction is whereby the fund manager will buy the shares. That means they will buy the shares and then eventually we can find the total over here. So if you notice over here, column 9, column 10, column 11 until the end. Do you think this column is necessary? If you think it's necessary, just type yes. If you think this column is not necessary, you can just type no in the chat box. Do you think the column 10, column 9 is necessary? So not necessary. So sometimes when we import the data, if they say any changes we make in the raw data, we will have the additional columns. So what we do is we need to remove. So you don't have to type one by one. You can scroll to the right and you can just press shift. You need to use your 2 hands. One hand press on the shift button. On the other hand, you use your mouse, you click on column 28. So automatically all these columns will be highlighted. You can just press right click and you can press remove columns. Just like that, all the unnecessary columns will be removed. So like right now, we have the date, we have company, we have ID, we have fund manager, we have the buy, sell, we have the shares, and we have the share price. So right now, I want to calculate the total investment. Okay, total investment. But before I talk about investment, I just want to check your knowledge. When you buy, okay, just say you buy a share or you buy a panipuri. When you buy panipuri or you buy an iPhone, when you buy, the cash, the money goes out or comes in. When you buy something, the money goes out or comes in. Can you type in the chat box? When you buy, whether you buy iPhone or you buy panipuri, the money goes out or comes in. Okay, the money goes out. Basically, even when you buy a share price, even you buy a property, the cash flow becomes a outflow. The cash goes out. But if just say, instead of buy, you sell. When you sell a property or you sell a share price, when you sell a property or you sell a share, I mean the shares, the cash outflow or inflow. When you sell, is it the outflow or inflow? So basically, what I'm trying to say is when you buy, thank you for your cooperation. So I see this goes out, there's I see inflow. So when you buy something, not only share price, even when you buy iPhone, when you buy a Samsung phone, or when you buy a property, your money, your savings will goes out. So basically, when you buy something, maybe let me write down so that everyone can understand. So we have two things: we buy and we earn. I mean, as an individual in a personal finance, when it comes to buying, the money goes out. Like you see, your friends has typed the word goes out, cash flows out. So goes out, the better word will be cash outflow. Here, earning. Earning, another word for earning is revenue or sell. When you sell a property or you sell a stock market, the money goes out. Money goes out. Sorry, money comes in. Money comes in, it means it is a cash inflow. So when cash outflow, it's a negative. Why negative? Because it's reduced. The money is reducing, so we can put it as negative. When cash inflow, the money is increasing, so we can put here positive. So what I want to do is, whenever there is a word called buy, I want it to be negative. Whenever there's a word called sell, I want it to be positive, because I want to know how much is my return. I buy a share price, my money is going out. But when I sell, I want the return. So I want to see how much is getting the total investment. So this is where I will use conditional column. You see here, just now when I show you these steps, I'm 100% sure some of you will be lost. Some of you are not well versed because there are so many steps. The intention is, first thing is you need to familiarize with Power Query. In Power Query, got so many things. One of it is this advanced editor. You can ask all the experts. The experts, some of them, they are already memorized this M query language. I haven't reached that level. And of course, never mind, you can also reach this level, but we won't cover on this class. For your level, if just say you are learning so many things, one of the things you need to know is conditional column. Conditional column is most commonly used in Power Query because it represents the if function in your Excel file. So let me press this conditional column. So conditional column is whereby if just say it has a letter, it's like you have the if, you have the then, you have the else. So you can try the conditional column, or you can also try custom column over here. So we have the custom column. So this is where we will try to use the formula like if, then, else. So this is also another way of doing the coding. But I'll do a simple one. My simple one is, if just say, let me just go over here. Let me just press yes. Okay. I'll go to my transaction. So what I want to do, tell to everyone is, if just say we have the word buy, whenever there is a word buy, that means the total of the shares or the total is being lost. Because when you buy, the money is going out. The money is going out. But when you sell, the money is coming in. So there's a cash inflow. So I go to custom column. So we have a custom column. What I'll do is, if, like how we have Excel, the if function, logic test, true, false. Let it so if this column name is buy sell. If you see here, the name of the column is buy sell. So if buy sell insert is equivalent to, I need to put apostrophe buy. So if just say the buy sell is equivalent to buy, then the money is going out. Going out is negative. So I put here then -1. -1, I must multiply with my total. Why I must multiply with my total? Because if just say I buy, money is going out. So -1 multiply with the total. So total insert. So if just say the word buy, you put -1. If just say sell, you put here +1. +1 times with total. So this is the equation. So if just say you see here, there is no syntax error, because if just say I backspace, I never put anything, I'm not able to press OK. So over here, it will indicate whether you have error or not. So in this case, I need to insert the total. So just have a look before I proceed. If the buy sell column has the word buy, then it is -1 times with total. Why -1 times total? Because when you buy, like you mentioned just now, some of you type in the chat box, when you buy, your money goes out, cash outflow. So the money goes out. So by that, this is -6,693. But if just say you sell, when you sell, you are making money. So it's +1 times total. So what I do is I press OK. Once I press OK, so now we can see the pattern. Why buy? When you buy, your money is going up. So that's why negative. But when you sell, you will have positive. So just say, let me filter out here. I filter out, I press here. So when you sell, you are making money. When you are making money over here, you will notice this is how it looks like. Okay, this is the data. So let me show you one more time. What is the formula? I use if then else formula. If buy sell is equivalent to buy, then -1. -1 means it indicates the money is going out. If just say positive means or sell, that means will be +1. Here I'll change the name. I'll put here total investment. Okay, and then I press OK, and then after that I go to this ABC123. As you can see over here, ABC123, I click here. I'll just put here in a fixed decimal number. You want to put whole number also can, you want to put fixed decimal number also can, up to you. So I'm going to go to home. I press close and apply. When I press close and apply, you will notice right now all these will be clean. You won't be seeing it as a messy data. The data will be clean right now. Now it looks nice. But the next thing you need to see is model view. So my dear friends, can you see model view? If you can see model view, can you type number 1 in the chat box? Over here we have model view. Okay, so thank you guys for cooperating. Thank you for typing number 1, Pratik. So I'm going to click here model view. So over here, let me just zoom out a bit so that you can see clearly. So now we have the financial performance, we have the share price. In the real working world, sometimes you will have more than 10 files. In the real working world, it's normal to have more than 10 files. So what I want to do is, I want to create a connection. You see here, there is a connection between transaction and also fund manager, because in transaction, we have fund manager ID. In fund manager, we have fund manager ID. Over here, so we notice we have customer ID in transaction, we have customer ID in client. So in this case, here we have company code, here we have company code. So what I want to do is I need to link. So when I link over here, manually you drag and link, you will notice a box will appear, company code, many to many. Many to many means here you have many datas. That means you don't have unique items that appear once, you have many and many. Press company code, and then you press OK. So right now you will see there's a connection. So here also company code, here also company code. We are going to do the same thing. So I'm going to drag here to the company code. So company code, you press save. So automatically there's a connection. So this is data modeling. We use the word called star diagram, okay, star schema, because you see here, we have a master file over here, and we have other 4 independent files actually. So I'll go to the report view. Like I told you, I want to show the share price. So what I'll do is, I'll just click on the value over here, and I go to the financial performance. I click on the company on the axis. Okay, so we have all these things, or maybe instead of company, I'll just tick the date. Okay, so you'll see this is basically a share price. Okay, but this one is all the companies. So I want to show for India market. So I'll just click on a slicer, and I'll just show, maybe I'll just click on the company industry, or even countries also can. So we have all the countries over here. I don't want this format. I'll go to slicer settings. I'll just show maybe in a drop down format. So now it's in a drop down, but I want to make it bigger. So I go to values, I put here 25. I go to slicer header, I put here also 25. So now it looks bigger. So my manager also can see clearly. So here we have countries, Control C, Control B. So this one also another one. Wait, let me just adjust. So adjust accordingly. Okay, so now it looks better. So this one, another one. This one, unselect the countries. I select the industry. So here we have the industry, and let me just adjust accordingly. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste. So right now I'm going to select here. So this one, unselect this industry, select the company name. Okay, so now you just say, I want to know for India market. So I'm going to click India, and I want to click a company, maybe, wait, we click any company so can, HDFC Bank. So we can see the share price. So basically, if a company wants to make a good return, they can buy at the lowest price and share at the highest price. Okay, this is how they can actually they play around with the money. So Hindustan, we have all the companies. So this company is standard. Infosys, okay, Infosys, this is how the patterns and so on. Okay, we have all the share price. So maybe if I click Bardi ITEL, so it's just up and down and so on. It's just flipping. Okay, so now this is the share price actually. So now the thing is not I'm going to show next is I want to show the financial performance. So what I'll do is I'll just click a normal chart, maybe a mix. You can use this or you can use anything. It's up to your creativity. So we have a chart over here. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to put the financial year. So the financial year is over here and I'll take the values and I want to actually wait. The financial year I'll put at the x-axis. Okay. So down, this is how the data looks. And the y-axis, I want to actually put the legend as the accounting items. Okay, so now this is how it looks like. So we have the revenue, operating profit, and net profit. Later I'll show you because in accounting, we want to recognize revenue first. Revenue will appear first, then only operating profit, then net profit. I'll show you later how we can do better. So now this is the one-page report. If just say I want to click on HDFC Bank, so now this is HDFC Bank, Hindustan Aeronautics. So this is how it looks like. Okay, so now we roughly understand. This is how we can actually prepare the visual. But now as the CEO of the company, you want to understand which team is performing well. Because if you see here, under the fund managers list, we have the fund managers group. Okay, we have a group on fund managers. So let me just click over here, the fund manager team. So here we have Helix, Orion, Phoenix, Titan, OneGuard. So let me increase the size. So I'll increase the size. I'll go to values. I put here 20. I go to the column header also. I put here 20. So now you see the size also has been increased. So this is the size. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to know whether they are making money or losing money. So we go to the transaction. Under transaction, we have a thing called total investment. So when I click on total investment, we can see over here, what we can understand is, well, let me just sort this in descending order. So we notice that Orion, the team of Orion is losing money, about negative 1.3. Okay, so let me just click over here and I choose instead of currency, I choose as whole number. Okay, so when you see here, Orion is losing money. OneGuard is making money. So this team is very doing well actually. So what I'm going to do is I want to copy this. Wait, let me just copy this. So Control C, Control V. So we have another one over here. But this one, what I want to do is, I don't want to know about the team. I unselect the team. I go to Fund Manager, unselect the team. I select the Fund Managers. So when I select the Fund Managers, let me just drag and put it over here at the top. Okay. So what we can see is, we can see who is the top performer and so on. Let me just double click. I don't want the word sum off. Enter. So from here, we can understand. So if just say I want to know about Orion. So I click on Orion. From Orion, I can see, okay, this person like Tarvan is making money. Let me scroll down. So when you scroll down, you can see, we notice that the main, I won't use the word culprit, maybe the poor performer. The poor performer is Prem Kumar Muruga. Of course, it's not Prem Sai, it's a different Prem Kumar Muruga. This guy is making a loss for the clients. So for Orion, this person is making loss, and you have Yuvaraj. It's not the cricket bowler Yuvaraj Singh. It's a different Yuvaraj Sundaraju. He's making loss. All right. And we also have Damendra. It's not the actor, it's a different Damendra. So Damendra negative 0.9. But if we look at just say OneGuard, when we look at OneGuard, we also see there is also a negative performance employees, but we also have fund managers who are doing well. Like for example, we have Ganesh. He's getting a good value investment for the company. Then when we look at Titan, so Titan also we have these employees, Helix, Phoenix, and so on. And then we can also see the performance for each client. So for example, I go here, we have the client, I click on the customer, and I want to know whether they are making good money or poor money. So over here, you can see. So you can actually sort. Okay, let me just sort over here. So some clients, they are doing well. Some clients, they are facing losses. Like Marcia's group, even though they invested in our company, but they are facing losses because we buy the shares and then when we sell, they are making losses. So this is how we can actually evaluate the fund manager performance. So from here, we can understand which fund manager is doing well. So if they say when I click OneGuard, we can see Ganesh is doing well. When I click Orion, we notice that Prem Kumar is not doing well. Okay, my friends, did you learn something today? I know this topic is very, very complex. Why very complex? Because it's data modeling, and then you have to clean the data. So it's not suitable for a beginner. But this is what rail report is. The rail report is a lot because they want to see by share price, which company is doing well, what is the indices, and so on. So my friends, do you learn something? If you learn something, can you type yes in the chat box? If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I understand this topic is not simple, it's complex, but I'll show you because in the real working world, your manager will ask, by right, the revenue to need to appear at the front. But if you see here, operating profit is middle, which is correct. Net profit is appearing in the first. In the real working world, you want the revenue to come first. Then only you have operating profit, net profit, not in this format. So if you see here, why net profit come first? Because the word net profit is N. The word revenue is R. R is revenue. That means it is alphabet which appear after the N. N, O, P, then after that we have Q, R, S. So in an alphabetical order, net profit appear first. So how we want to show that the revenue comes first? We need to do some cleaning. That means we go to transform data. Okay, I go to the transform data over here. Waterfall chart also can. I'll show in a while. Just give me a moment. So just say I go to the financial performance. So here revenue, because here they follow alphabetical order. So I'm going to press here right click. I go to duplicate. Okay, so I'm just going to click here right click and we have duplicate. All right, so apparently we don't have right now, but now let me see. Yes, we have duplicate. And what I'm going to do is I only want the accounting items. So I'm going to click what? I'm going to go to choose columns. I don't want all. I unselect this. I select the accounting items. So now we have the accounting items. I don't want all these. So I click here, remove row, remove duplicates. Remove duplicates. So it will remove accordingly. And then what I'll do is I go to add column. I click index column because this one is to form the pattern. Revenue, operating profit, net profit. So should sort by revenue. Go to home, go to close and apply. Once I press close and apply, eventually it will load back to the Power BI. Okay, you will have a new database over here. I'll go to the model view. Okay, so you will notice there is a relationship being formed between this table and this table because we have the accounting items. And then I go to table view. I click on financial performance too. Okay, over here. I click on this column. I click on this column. I go to sort by column. I click sort by column. I don't want it to sort by alphabetical order. I want to sort it by index because revenue to appear as the first, then only this thing. So click index. So it will take some time to load. Okay, so eventually it will be sorted by index. So now what I'll do is I click here. I will unselect the financial performance. I unselect this. And then I'll try to go to my dummy data over here. This dummy data, what I'll do is I'll click here, put at the legends. Okay, where is it? So let me just put here. Wait. The legends is over here maybe. Okay, wait. Let me just do one more time. Oh, sorry, I did a mistake. Okay, so this one, the financial year is correct, x-axis. But this one, the column legend, I just drag it, put over here. So wait, not here. I'm just going to drag and put it over here. So now you'll see revenue will appear first. Revenue is the first item. Operating profit, net profit. So we need to use a dummy data in order to derive this particular presentation. So if you look here, there is a comment from the chat box. Can you show how to incorporate waterfall chart for company-wise in the financial performance? So a waterfall chart means, okay, this one is relevant if just say you have a breakdown. But I'll show you waterfall chart. I'll put the breakdown. Okay, so I'll click here the breakdown. Okay, wait, maybe I put here the categories. Wait, not here. Just say I put here. Okay, wait, let me just try. Wait, accounting items and values. Okay, so now this is how it looks. So we have revenue, operating profit, net profit. So normally for this data is not relevant. Normally for breakdown, just to let you know, Sachit Bansal, breakdown means maybe you want to show the breakdown is over here, but then on the other side, you want to show maybe by OPEX item, because this one is showing us the total. It's showing us the total in the sense of revenue, operating profit, and net profit. So by right, I think it's relevant if you have a breakdown, maybe breakdown for by revenue. Maybe here you put the revenue, and then the breakdown will be all the type of revenue, maybe like match attendance, ticket attendance, sales of the properties, and so on. That will be a relevant revenue. But in this case, it's not relevant. Okay, so I think for to answer your question, the data need to have a proper breakdown. Like this breakdown is not proper. So Sachit, did I answer your question? How about others? Do you have any questions? No worries. You can actually ask me. I can actually repeat for you. You can ask me why I do that, why I do this, so that I can actually educate you again. This is not a simple case study. This is a complex case study. Okay, so I got show you. If you have questions, you can ask. No questions, I'll suggest you to prepare a third page report. You can actually publish this in your LinkedIn or you want to do on your own. It's up to you. So I'm going to give you an assignment. You publish a one-page report to show the share price and financial performance. Second page report to show the fund manager performance. And third page report is your creativity. Whether you want to show like what Sachin suggests, a tree, a waterfall, or maybe you want to show perhaps the financial performance of the company, or you want to show the fund manager performance on from the period January to December. Up to you. Okay, it's based on your creativity. So I give you a homework. Okay, this is not a compulsory homework. This is up to you. You can actually ignore this message. The homework is prepare three-page report. So Aishwarya, are you open for the challenge? I don't know if Aishwarya is here, but anyone, if you want to ready for the challenge, you can actually. So anybody open for the challenge? Are you willing to prepare a three-page report? If you have any doubts, no worries, you can ask me. If you have no questions right now, so you can actually WhatsApp me also personally and ask me any doubts. Anyone with any questions? Or did I disturb your Sunday morning? By that Sunday morning, you can actually watch movie. There's a movie called Coolie where Amir Khan acted. So you can actually watch that movie as well in the cinemas. Up to you. So anyone have any questions? If you have any questions, you can ask. I'll just go here. Coolie. So Coolie, this is the latest movie I watched. For me, it's okay. I won't say wow. But yeah, Sunday morning done. So you have Amir Khan, you have Nagarjuna, and so on. Yes. Sunday morning. Yeah, Sachin, you need to get used to this data because I understand this is a very complex data. No worries, you can actually ask me and so on. So you have Big Stars. It's a pan-India movie. So you can actually watch this on a Sunday. You have, I mean, of course, this guy, I mean, he's a superstar. I watched on a first day show. Yeah.
In Chennai, they are celebrating it like a festival.
Yeah. It's a festival actually. Even in Malaysia also, we watch this. People were shouting. They are taking their phone. I know privacy is a illegal thing. Of course, I never do anything. My friend was taking and posting in Insta. It's I mean, of course, it's a good and bad. I mean, there's a bad things as well. But for me, it's okay. For others, it's below average. For some, they like it. So it's up to you. You can decide to watch this movie Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday.
So, Ellen, what I'll do is I'll practice both these things. I'll practice the homework, and I'll watch Kuli as well. Thank you for recommending this beautiful movie, and thanks a lot, Ellen, for all the work that you do. I think the value is really in practice. Like at the beginning of, some people joined us late at the beginning of this class. Can you show that chart once again, which was done by Harshvardhan, which we were
Oh,
proud of? So, guys, I was telling at the beginning of the class that this guy called Harshvardhan, he took the exercise from yesterday that Ellen taught, and he immediately practiced and sent me a text. It made my day because it showed me that people are actually practicing what they are learning, and this guy was is a beginner. He's doing his MS in US, and being a beginner, he, completely new to Power BI, he did a wonderful thing. So the practice is what makes you much better. And Nilay is one of the beautiful data analytics engineer who believes in a lot of practice. Nilay, do you have a word to add to that?
Yes, whatever you learn, if you don't practice three times at least, then it is not even learning. So
So
Sanjay said that 5 times you have to practice when it comes to
e-
data engineering as
exactly.
usual, because
Nilay,
consuming something is does not have any values
Nilay is
actually.
also one of our leads from Kolkata who has mastered SQL and Power BI through a lot of practice, and currently he's also practicing every day data engineering. So guys, you know, Nilay came from a completely non-technical background, and with his practice and with his hard work, he works for an MNC, and he does a beautiful job there, right? So so guys, practice is the key. That you will hear this from every single lead that we have in the COE. That practice is very important, because if you just listen to the videos, it's not going to help you with anything. And of course, if you have questions, like Ellen said, if you are not connected to Ellen, can you post your LinkedIn ID as well once again,
Yeah, sure.
so that people that are not connected to you will connect to you. Also, some people have joined us new today. If you don't mind, can you please share your YouTube channel, because people can go to that channel and look at thousands of
Okay.
good things that you've done.
Sure. And also I will answer Priyanka's question, because Priyanka asked me a question just now. I'll answer in a while. Wait, hold on. Just say this one. I think you just click here. View channel. Okay, so wait. So this one, okay, I'm going to go copy this and I'm going to paste in the chat box. Okay, so Priyanka asked me a question because don't understand the merge part. Okay, so to let you know, Priyanka, you can type yes if you can see the screen. Maybe anyone, not only Priyanka, anybody can see the screen. Okay, you can just type yes. Okay, so now the intention is here we have the column proper, company code proper, company name proper, industry proper, countries also is in a proper format. But the revenue and the 2018, because from here, what I need to do is I need to actually produce 3 different columns. Why? One column to show the revenue, operating profit, net profit. One column to show the financial year, another column to show the values. So what I need to do is, okay, to let you know, I understand for a beginner, this is very complex because maybe you're seeing this for the first time and so on. So under transform, we have transpose. So we click transpose, so it will transpose over here. And then what we do is, you see here, revenue and null. So I want to actually put fill down, because the word null means blank cell. So I click over here, right click, and then what I do is I press fill and then I press down so that it will fill down. And then what I need to do is I need to combine temporary. For temporary basis, I need to combine. So can you type number 2 if you can see column 1 and column 2? Can you see this? I click transpose because it will change the data, and I will select these two. Okay, select these two. So Priyanka, can you type number 2 if you can see this? The purpose is because I want to combine this data. Why temporary only? Because if just say I never combine, I transpose, it will be hard for me to merge up. It will hard for me to promote row as a header. So that is why I need to combine first. So once I combine, how to combine? You go to merge column and a box will appear. So you can choose anything you want. Semicolon also can, equal sign also can, because eventually later we will split. So equal sign, I press OK. So now it's combined. Then what I'll do is, I will go to transpose. So now it will change format. If you remember, few moments ago, I got issue first row as header. That means the first row promoted as the header. You can click over here also can, or under home, over here also can. It's the same. Use first row as header means it will promote first row as header. Click over here, it will be promoted as the header. Okay, then I will select all the 4 columns, the first 4, right click, unpivot other columns. So when unpivot, so now it looks better. So right now you can split this column. Because I want revenue in one column, I want the 2018 in one column. So you can actually go to split column over here, delimiter, press OK. And now it will be separated, just like that. Okay, so Priyanka, what I do is, if you see here, first step is, this is our original data. I transpose the table. The transpose means you change the layout. You transpose the table so that it becomes this layout. Why I transpose? Because I need to fill down. Because I don't want here revenue null, operating profit null, net profit null. So what I do is fill down. How I fill down? I press right click, I go to fill, and I press down. Then after that, what I do is I combine these two columns because for temporary basis, I combine this column and then I transpose. Then I put first row as header, it becomes first row as header. Then I unpivot the other columns, it becomes like this. Then finally is split column, like this. Okay, so if you want me to repeat, I can repeat for you, no worries. But before I repeat, I'll show you to even not only Priyanka, to our other friends as well, even to Aishwarya. Okay, if you see here, you actually need practice. Wait, let me open a particular file so that everyone can get the understanding. You see here, in the real working world, we have a lot of complicated data. In the real working world, we have a lot of complicated data. For example, over here, my dear friends, can you type number 3 if you can see this file 6 extras? Can you see this file? Okay. All right. So to just let you know, in the real working world, sometimes the data is not clean. What is a clean data? A clean data is something like this. You have a proper structure. This is a proper data because it's clean in a proper database. But here you see here, this column we have. So this column is unnecessary. This one is also unnecessary. So we can use Power Query to clean the data. Even in part 2 also, you see, this column is unnecessary. This column also unnecessary. So you can clean the data. But when you go to part 3, you have a very complex. You have here one table, one table, one table over here. Then when you go to part 4, you see the same thing. But here you have one column, two different types of data. Because if you see here we have iPhone, Apple Watch, MacBook, others, which is one column is the product. But if inside this column also, you have the Americas, Europe, Asian Pacific. So you have two different column in one, two different data in one column. This one is another strategy. Then when you go to part 5 also you have like this. This one you can fill down. Part 6, this one is very weird because the data is not so clean. Then part 7, part 8, part 9, and then part 10 and so on. Okay, and even I can also show you what is another exam. Okay, final exam, because we have a very weird data. Weird data means like this one is weird data, weird data. This is weird because this one is merged because the manager one is 6 different columns. This one also very weird. This one also weird. So in like what the Arun sir said, like what Nilay also said, we need to actually practice. Okay, so it depends. But before I use the word practice, it must come with the word passion. Passion or worst case is required because in some working data, the data is not clean. So because of their work, they have no choice. They have to clean data. But at the same time, if just say you have the passion, then yes, you can actually practice this. Like how you have a passion to watch movies, Big Boss, cricket, and so on. Yeah. So anyone with any questions?
Yeah, I want to add something here, Alan.
Go ahead.
Because what you're doing, this kind of exercises is really important because when I was practicing Power Query, I solved many complex things which cannot be solved using the GUI. Okay, so we have to do some a little bit of aim coding and all. Okay, but this actually makes your fundamental skill strong, because once you will solve these questions, these problems using Power Query, later when you learn Python or something, the same fundamental knowledge you can apply. You just have to find that how I will merge cell, or how I will pivot or unpivot. So your fundamental is already strong. You don't need to learn this concept from the scratch. But Power Query is a really powerful tool and very good tool that you can do almost anything. But when it comes to big data, if you do the same thing using PySpark, you already have the fundamental knowledge. So practicing this is really important.
Very, very well said, Nilay. Nilay, can you also share your own LinkedIn ID? So just in case people want to connect with you, because you have quite a good knowledge in, SQL, Power BI, Power Query, and many other technologies.
Yeah, sure, I will share. And one more thing I want to add: if you are preparing for PL 300, you need to understand the pivot and unpivot concepts very clearly, because they asked so many questions from the pivot and unpivot. And pivot and unpivot you can't learn by just watching the documentation. Okay, so you just create your own data and try to practice the pivot unpivot, because this concept is little bit complex than other things. Okay.
All right. Is there any last minute question, or can we wrap up now, guys? All right. Looks like we don't have any. So, guys, enjoy your Sunday and thanks. Yes, yes, Ellen. We will watch Kuli. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody.